Hello and welcome to the English Institute of Sport here in Sheffield for a BBL Cup semi-final first leg clash between the Sharks and the Leicester Riders right here on Sky Sports. The Sharks have had a tough start to their championship season, but a win over the Riders in the semi-final may set them back on track. Rob Paternostro's men have only lost once all season and they've already been to Steel Town and won. At the end of this game, we'll have highlights from the second leg of the other Cup semi-final between Newcastle Eagles and the Plymouth Raiders. Here's how things look at the start of this stage of the competition. Riders play the Sharks in the first leg tonight. The return match in Leicester next Saturday, 8th of December. In the other tie, Newcastle are in pole position to reach the final thanks to their 107-90 victory in Plymouth last weekend. They play their second leg on Tyneside tonight, so we'll find out who makes it through before the end of the show. Well, tonight I'm joined by a man who played his first Cup semi-final back in 1981. A young teenage backup point guard, was playing for Leicester as they shocked the establishment from the second division to make it to the Final Four. PJ, I won't ask you to recount that Solent defeat, but now he's the Worcester coach, Paul James. Paul, Leicester, your old team, they look a form team right now, top of the table.
Fantastic team this year and deserved of their place, and even just recently they've added Anthony Rowe. They're going to be tough to beat tonight.
They certainly are. Sheffield also made changes in their backcourt. BJ Holmes comes in, Gage Day goes out. They've had a difficult start to the season. No surprise to see them make a change.
No, I think it was always coming. You know, it's not a Sheffield team that we've expected over the years, but they've made that change now, and I think, you know, they've always been good in the Cup competition, and this is the one trophy now that I think they can really go for.
Yeah, they certainly have been good in the Cup competitions this season. They've saved their best performances for the Cup. Are we expecting more of the same tonight, do you think?
They're going to really need it because I say, you know, two-legged game, you know, they're going to need a miracle, but they're going to need it on two games. So I just think you just can't look too far past Leicester right now.
And as Paul mentions, this is the first of two legs. You found out to your cost last year, you can't let things get away from you in this first leg.
Absolutely not. We played Plymouth last year, and they came into our house and beat us by 29. We went down to their house and beat them by 25. It just wasn't enough at the end.
It promises to be a cracking game. Earlier on, I caught up with members of both teams to see what they thought. Well, Atiba, you've made a change in playing personnel this week. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, it's no secret that we've been kind of struggling for identity this season. We've been young and just haven't really clicked offensively. We haven't really had a great offensive night yet this season. So, you know, we just try to change a little bit, and we try to go with our point guard and bring in BJ Holmes tonight.
And BJ Holmes, he makes his debut tonight. What can you tell us about him?
You know, he's a solid point guard, quick, kind of similar to other point guards we've had in the past at Sheffield, a smaller guard. Hopefully he can get our offense running a little bit better and maybe, you know, get guys in position to score and just kind of get some chemistry going.
And Leicester have been in tremendous form this season. You've played them once already. It was a long time ago. Did you learn anything from that game?
That's a hard game for us to take anything from, especially with the changes now. But even then, we were down. We only played with one American that game, and you know, first game of the season, of course, is always going to be difficult. But you know, we know they're a good team, and they can play many different styles of basketball. They can play half court, they can get transition. They've got a good side, so I know they're very versatile, and that's kind of what their strength is. And
do you approach these two-legged affairs slightly different to a regular league game?
I think you have to approach the first leg just like a regular game and go out to win and just try to play. If you try to change what you do too much, you may cause troubles for yourselves.
Good luck. Thanks for talking to us. Well, Rob, you guys come here in great form. Confidence must be high.
Yeah, we feel good. You know, we're getting contributions from many players. You know, one game it's one guy, another game it's other guys, and you know, it's very satisfying as a coach when you have a group that is that unselfish and understands that some nights we're going to go with different players. So mood in the camp great right now.
And Anthony Rowe seems to have settled straight in.
Yeah, he has. I mean, you know, from the moment he's gotten here, he's fit in personality-wise, no doubt. Great kid, and you know, after the first couple of weeks of practice, we like what we see, and gives us another option inside.
And last time you played here, it was very early in the season. You had John Fraley, you had a big double-double. I mean, are Sheffield a different team from then?
Yeah, I think so, no doubt. Michael Williams didn't play that game, and, you know, we're different, too. I think it was early in the season. Both teams didn't get much time to prepare. So I think both teams now are very different, and you know, it's a cup game too. And in these cup games, a lot of times, you know, you throw the form out the window, and whoever performs on the night.
And of course, a two-legged game. What are the targets for the first leg?
Well, we target to win the game. I think that's the best way to go about it. As the game goes on, if you get late in the game, then maybe you talk about possibilities for the next game. But coming into the game, we're talking about winning it.
Good luck. Well, you've had your difficulties in the league, but the Cup offers you a chance to get through to a big final.
Yeah, obviously it's not gone as we wanted in the league or as we anticipated at the start of the season, but you know, we've kept our best performances so far for the Cup. You know, against Chester, we came out, we played well, and we had our biggest win probably of the season against Glasgow, and you know, they both happened to be Cup games.
And Leicester come here top of the league, form team, only lost once. How do you go about beating a team like that?
Well, I think, we have similar styles. I think they're just a little bit more comfortable, with that style of play. And, they've been executing it for 40 minutes a game where, we've been maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes. So we know what we need to do, and hopefully we're going to come out and, keep our run going.
And you likes of yourself and Olu and Mike Tuck, big game experience, been to Cup finals. Does that help on a night like this? Yeah, but, you could probably pick out people from Leicester that are in exactly the same position. But, as long as we come out, we play with some energy, and there are going to be times where we need to make experienced plays, and hopefully we step up and make those plays at the right time. And how do you judge a first leg game out of 2 legs? You just got to make sure you don't lose. You're not out of the tie. You can't win it in the first game, but you can definitely lose it. I think a lot of coaches, come with that, but it's definitely true. We just got to put ourselves in a good situation going into a week on Saturday. Good luck. Thanks for talking to us. Well, Anthony, you finally made your Leicester debut last weekend. You seem to fit right in.
Yeah, it's been a great, smooth transition, and I put it down to the coach and the teammates. They've really made life a lot easier for me to just come in and go to work, and yeah, I feel like I'm at home already. And game 2 in your Riders' career, a Cup semi-final, big game. Yeah, semi-final game. I wouldn't want to dilly-dally around. I'm ready to get in the deep end and start swimming. So I'm excited, and there's a great opportunity for me and the team and to get in a Cup final. And of course, you had experience in the Cup final last year, a bad experience. How much does that drive you on to win silverware? Oh, your words just described it perfectly. Unfortunately, it ended, badly for me last year at the NIA, and I just want to get in there this year. Second chance, second bite of the apple, and hopefully win some silverware. And Sheffield have made a slow start to the league, but they seem to have saved their best performances for Cup games. Definitely, and and years past have showed that. This year they have had a slow start in the league, yes, but Cup is their thing. They always seem to do well in the Cup, and they're a good Cup team because they're going to play into the final whistle. So it's going to be a tricky game for us today. And of course, played over 2 legs. What are the targets for the first 40 minutes? I just want to get in and set the tone straight away in this first game. I don't want to leave it to chance. Sheffield are a good enough team. They have good enough players to call themselves back from a realistic deficit. So today I would like to just get in here and and go to work and hopefully provide ourselves a good lead. Well, tip off just a couple of moments away. Let's have a look at the 2 lineups for tonight's game, starting with the Sharks, and they've got BJ Holmes in their backcourt. And of course, they won the BBL Cup back-to-back, 2011, 2010. Mike Tuck and Tiba Lions, both on those teams. Olu Babalola's won it with the Sharks and the Tigers. Andrew Bridge, couple of winners' medals from his 3 final appearances. They have a lot of experience. They'll need all that know-how tonight.
Absolutely, Daniel. As you say, they've got all those guys who've had that experience of being there before. And, as you say, they're going to need all that experience, not only for this game, but for the second leg as well. But, as I say, they've been there, and, they're going to have everybody else fired up.
And looking at the Riders' recent signing, Anthony Rowe was part of the Plymouth squad who went to the NIA last season. Drew Sullivan played against the Sharks in the 2011 final. And with Andrew Bridge in Newcastle's success in 2006, Yorick Williams has a couple of winners' medals. The thing about this team, though, is their versatility and their depth. Different guys can come out and hurt you on different nights.
I really love the look of the Leicester Riders this year. They go 12 deep without question. They're big, they're athletic, they crash the boards. And as you say, Daniel, they can bring in a bunch of guys to change the game up. And Everton has been very, very tough to beat right now.
Well, yeah, you see what's going on with Leicester, where sometimes you even get a guy like Yorick Williams coming off the bench and hitting big threes that make a difference in a game, as he did a few weeks ago. And when you've got a guy who's probably, what, 7 or 8 off the bench, it's pretty hard to deal with that as a team. And we're about to start. Rowe wins the tip. Leicester get the first offense. Zaire Taylor drives through under pressure, diving for the loose ball, but couldn't quite keep that one in bounds. So Leicester will get possession. Zaire Taylor to inbound. Gets it into Kuznod. Kuznod fires up long to Jay Kuznod, all string, and it's important for the Riders to get him going early on. Kuznod maybe hasn't shot the ball as well as he would have liked. They'll like to see him get one off early on.
Absolutely not. He's a confidence player. If he gets one, he can get a bunch in a hurry. So they've got to really do a better job on him than they did just then.
Tuck backing down into Lasonsky, who did a good job of keeping his man out. Leicester looking to run now with Taylor. Back to Kuznod, fakes it the three. Lasonsky just behind the throw line. Now they go down low to Rowe. Squares up, and his shot doesn't go. Two of them fighting for it. Eventually, it ends up in the hands of Bridge.
It's a trademark shot there for Anthony Rowe. I'm surprised he didn't make that one just then.
And that pass just bobbled through the hands of Olu Babalola, so Leicester will get it back. Interesting starting lineups for both teams. Jorge Calvo in the starting lineup for Leicester. Drew Sullivan coming off the bench. He did have a minor toe operation a week ago, caused him to miss last weekend's game, and I think Rob Paternostro just wanting to ease him back.
Yeah, I think both coaches are trying to go big this time around, just to see what each other are going to do. So it's a bit of a chess match going on here, but George Calvo, I like the way he plays. He brings a lot of energy to the Leicester team.
Well, they're bringing BJ Holmes off the bench. Obviously only just joined the team, Sheffield, but I'm sure it won't be long before we see his first action in the BBL. Taylor with a little stop and go. Great dish to Rowe. Rowe is challenged by Bridge, but fouled, and he'll go to the line for two.
Great penetration there, and great awareness of knowing where his players are, you know, feeding Anthony Rowe, and that's what he does really well.
Zaire Taylor, very good with the little stop and go, and there's only one winner in that matchup.
That's right.
Rowe has the size and strength. Bridge scrambling to play the help defense, but the Leicester man takes some used to saying that. The Leicester man makes the first one. And he hits both free throws. Leicester jump out to an early 4-0 lead.
Leicester getting Anthony Rowe into the side could be just the turning point to making them into a really championship team this season.
Williams, well, it was a massive blow when John Fraley went down. At the time, he was the league's leading rebounder and the team's leading scorer. Had a big double-double up here at the beginning of the season, but they managed to survive without him for a few weeks, and now they've added Rowe. Lasonsky under pressure, trying to get it to Rowe, throws it away to Williams. Babalola wants it down in the low post. Leicester's very long in the guard position. They can get their hands in the passing lane like that.
They are. I mean, they are big, they're long, they get their hands in the passing lanes, they're intense, and, you know, if you give them a chance, they will suffocate you.
They've certainly done a tremendous job of doing that during the season. Rowe is called for a bump foul there. Leicester, best defensive team in the league by points conceded, only team to keep under 70. Here's another look at the foul called against Rowe.
Yeah, a little bump foul there, but as you say, Daniel, Leicester only giving up 68 points a game. That is a fantastic, you know, defensive effort for any team.
And here's a steal from Taylor. He does keep it alive, throws it up in the air, which gives Calvo a chance to recover. Taylor fires for three, not quite, but Calvo pulls in the rebound.
You know, another great defensive deflection there, you know, to save the ball, come up with a good shot, and get the offensive rebound for another effort.
Taylor, I don't know if he was trying to lay it in or drop it off to Lasonsky. Whichever happened, it was stolen away by the Sharks. Williams. Jemison inside, barreling down Jorge Calvo. And I think his eyes lit up when he saw the little Spaniard in front of him, but he's pretty good defensively, got his feet in the way.
Certainly did. You know, he's got some quick feet, has Calvo, and he was like, yeah, I'll take a charge right here. You can run me over.
Here's Calvo, double screen at the top, goes round and gets it to Kuznod, right in front of his coach. Rob Paternostro, a cup finalist as a player back in 2001 on the losing team that occasion. It was played in Sheffield, if I remember rightly. And Lasonsky's shot does not go.
I'm sure Coach Paternoster would love to get back to the Cup final, actually coaching a team, and certainly he's got a bunch of players this year that I think he can do it with.
Jelson hands over to Tuck. Tuck finds a gap, slices through the defense. It's taken them over 3 minutes, but Sharks on the ball.
Nice play by Tuck, and I'm sure Coach Tiber Lyons can need Tuck to do a lot more of that. You know, he's been very quiet this season, and you know, I look at him play, and I think, you know, there must be a lot more to come from him.
Riders trying the little high-low entry pass, which they've used a lot this year, both to Sullivan, Fraley, and now to Rowe. Sullivan's coming into the game, and so too for the first time, B.J. Holmes.
Well, looking forward to seeing what B.J. Holmes can bring. Apparently he's a really quick guard, can shoot the ball really well, so I'm excited to see what he does for the Sheffield team.
Well, Leicester fortunate that they would have had an inside scouting, because Zaire Taylor on the ball here played against him in college. The pair both in the Big 12 at Missouri and Texas A&M, so at least Zaire Taylor knows what he's going up against.
Absolutely, I'm sure Coach Rob Paternoster has left no stone unturned, and he's had him in the office telling him what's this kid like.
Well, it is Taylor who's guarding Holmes. He's certainly trying to force him off onto the other hand, and then they drop back into a 2-3 zone, Leicester. Holmes to Tuck, skipping it round. Williams fires up for 3 and hits. And when a team goes into zone, you've got to hit some threes.
You've got to hit some threes, and you've got to know where Williams is. We played them last weekend, and we just could not get away from him, because Williams just kept in the game, made some big threes.
Sullivan, good ball movement, finds Rowe in the paint. Didn't think that was going in, Anthony Rowe, but it did.
Fantastic ball movement there by the Riders.
Tuck. And there goes another quick release 3. That one's off the back of the ring. Tuck might get there first. No, Sullivan just beats him away from the ball. Oh, good bounce pass from Sullivan. Lashansky, though, lost it. Ball bobbling about. Riders come up with it, and eventually B.J. Holmes has it, looking to push. Still Holmes gives it to Babalola, and he lays it in off the glass for 2, and Sheffield take the lead 7-6.
It's fantastic. It's amazing what a good point guard can do for you. Coming down, controlling the show, getting those big guys, those easy shots that they like.
Well, it took them a couple of minutes to get the scoreboard ticking, but no doubt about it, they've certainly got it moving now, the Sharks. That bounced off the foot. Referee signals for the reset, but it's at 16, so we'll hold it there.
I think probably, you know, Riders being in the zone suits the Sharks more. You know, they can move the ball around, and you know, they've now got a couple of good stops defensively, and they've broke very well to get some easy buckets.
Here's Sullivan in the corner. Dropped into Anderson, who's just checked into the game. Anderson going to the hole, couldn't quite get that to convert. Holmes looking to push the other way. Tuck, top of the key, doesn't quite squeeze one in off the back of the ring.
Both teams a little bit rushed at the moment offensively, not being too patient. Here we go with
well, that's normally bread and butter for Anthony Rowe, top of the key, somewhere around the foul line.
Absolutely, I was about to say, here's another 2 from Anthony Rowe.
Holmes with the pull-up, doesn't quite go. Kuznod grabs the rebound. He's forced to stop. Sullivan wide open, but it doesn't get that far. Taylor hits from behind the arc of the Riders. First 3 of the game for the Leicester Riders. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel for them.
Certainly has. I think they're barely shooting 23, 26% from the three-point line this season. But when you've got the length that they have and the power they have inside, you know, yeah, maybe it's not too bad a shape.
Babalola's shot can't go. Tuck knocks it out of bounds. Yeah, it's funny. You look at Leicester and you say they lost their best big player to injury, season-ending injury. They're shooting below 30% from the free throw line. They've already lost that three-point line. They've already lost 1 game.
Well, it just shows how deep they are. And here they are making more subs. You got young Washington coming in the game. He's getting more and more minutes, and he's growing as the season goes on. Anderson at the other end as well. So, I mean, Leicester is so deep. Got some guys who are playing with a lot of passion, a lot of fire.
You know, Washington is one guy who's given them some three-point threat off the bench. He had a big game against the Tigers a couple of weeks ago, and that's just forced Rob Paternoster to give him more and more minutes. He's looking very comfortable out there on the three-point line.
It's great to see these young British kids get an opportunity and taking their opportunity. You know, I've got a couple of kids at Worcester who have done just the same this season, so you know, it's fantastic for the BBL to see that.
Riders back out to a 4-point lead here at the EIS in Sheffield. Nice move along the baseline, but it bubbles out for Jemison. And Kuznard with the rebound, still going. Jay Kuznard, coast to coast, couldn't quite get it to roll in. And Sheffield can push it the other way.
Both teams missing a couple of chippies right there.
Off the glass for 2.
It's a nice little move by Holmes, recognizing he had a little short jumper there, and a good 2 points.
Sullivan. Lasonsky goes down to the low bar. Inside to Anderson, all on his own. Oh, that'll be a goaltend, I think, because he slapped the board. It didn't actually make a difference to the shot, but you're not allowed to slap the board like that.
Not allowed to slap the board at all. So here we go. Nice little cut circle round. Normally, Anderson will go up and dunk that, so
yeah,
you know, he needs to be a bit more aggressive on that one.
But he will get 2 points for that as Yorick Williams comes into the game for the first time. Leicester pushing up court. And you look at it, we've been talking about their depth. They've now got 4 guys on court who started the game on the bench.
I was just about to say, how many players have they played now in this game? And we're not even out of the into the second quarter yet.
Thrown cross court to Gachette, who's just into the game. Good hands from Williams to knock it loose, but Sheffield keep control of it. Tuck shot is short, easy rebound for Sullivan. Tuck trying to knock it away. Lasonsky bringing it forward. Has Washington in the corner, just a little behind him, and he's under pressure from Holmes. Sullivan out on the 3-point line, inside to Lasonsky with the spin. Williams, he won't turn a shot like that down, and he knocks it down.
You're not going to ask him twice to shoot it. You know, that's what he does best.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. If they can get the likes of Washington and Williams into the game, hitting threes, it changes the way Sheffield play defense and forces them into a timeout.
Absolutely, I know that feeling. I mean, when I did the scouting report on Leicester, we played them at their place, 23% from the 3-point line. We don't need to guard them out there. They made 8 out of their first 10 threes, so that's how much I know.
Well, that was probably the high point of their entire season, 3-point line, that first half against you guys, because it has been a distance they've struggled at, but not so today. They've looked pretty effective from behind the arc and opened up a 7-point lead here.
Yeah, they have. You know, Rob's run through the bench and he's finding, he's getting players in and out, so they don't have to save their engine, come out and just play hard. He switched a bit of the zone, and that's when Sheffield made their run back on them, so they've gone back man-to-man, and now we look at the score, it's 16-9.
And Tiba Lions, what do you think will be disappointing in the most? I mean, they're 4 of 12 from the floor. Is it the fact they can't get the ball in the basket, or will it be the open shots that it's seen go in?
Well, I think they've had some great looks offensively, which, you'd expect, their big Tuck to score and Jameson to score. So I think he'll be saying to them, we're getting some great shots. Concentrate, focus on making them. When Leicester's shoot and miss, we've got to limit them to 1 shot per possession, not let them get the offensive rebound.
It's Washington and Williams at the top. It's into Gachette, back to Babalola. And they got to get it over. They do get it over in time. And that's probably the one weak point. If you can get it over the halfway line to try and tack quickly, but Leicester recovered well. Holmes from behind the arc doesn't go. Tipped up in the air by Tuck, and he pulls it down. Nice spin move by Mike Tuck for 2.
That's great. Great spin move by Mike Tuck there. We need to see more of that from him. But going back to Leicester's press, Sheffield really got to do a better job of attacking them, being aggressive against the press. Gaps will appear, but they've got to be able to handle the ball and make the right decisions.
Sullivan down in the low block. Kicks it cross court to Williams, moves it on Washington, fakes it the 3, steps underneath for 2, it rattles about. Anderson, almost like he was the defensive player, got the rebound. Tuck with the block shot though. Great recovery from Mike Tuck. That's what I mean, try and attack there off that full court. Babalola, a little shake at the top of the key, the long rebound comes out to Williams.
Yeah, nice little sequence there by Sheffield. Just couldn't finish it off at the end of that jump shot by Babalola.
Washington has it. Cross court to Williams. Back again. Washington penetrates, finds Yorick, fires up from behind the arc again. Rebound by Connor Washington, the smallest guy on the court.
Everybody's doing their bit, Daniel.
Fired up by Sullivan. That's a long 2, just toeing the line on that.
Right now, I don't think Sheffield know who to guard because everybody out there on the floor from the Leicester team can actually score, so that, nobody can fall asleep. And what Leicester have done particularly well this season, they moved the ball really well. I think they're averaging about 18, 19 assists a game.
Nice cut through the middle from Tuck. That's tipped out by Sullivan. Obvious goaltend call, but it still gets the fans irate as they jump up behind us. Referee's not going to miss that one.
Hope not, hope not.
Well, Leicester went to inbound the ball, but over on the other sideline, the referee was turning to the subs to allow the subs to come into the game. It's changes both ways. Zaire Taylor comes in for Leicester. Bridge comes in for the first time for the shot, so too Jelson.
Yeah, you know, Sheffield still staying in that 2-1-2, 2-3 zone. You know, and I'm guessing they're just hoping that Leicester get a little bit cold and miss a few shots and don't get any offensive rebounds.
Taylor allowing the ball to roll. The clock doesn't start until you pick the ball up, which is why he allowed that to go, so he can get into the other half before it starts ticking. Sullivan fires up from behind the arc, little short on that one. Another offensive rebound by the Riders, that time pulled in by Jamal Anderson, and that's their 4th of this first quarter.
Now that, as a coach, that drives you crazy. You're in a zone, you're supposed to be hopefully stronger rebounding-wise. You know, you got to find somebody, try and put a body on someone to box out and come up with the ball. You're forcing Leicester to miss in the first place.
Sullivan short on the 3. I don't know if Gachette got a little piece on that. He might have. Holmes pushing it. 5 seconds left in the first half. Crowd counting it down to Gachette in the corner with the jump shot. Doesn't go off the back of the ring. End of the first quarter here at the EIS. Leicester leading the Sharks by 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leicester have done a great job. You know, Coach Rob Pence has done a great job of rotating his players through the first quarter there. Everybody's played their part. Sheffield are actually forcing Leicester to miss some shots. They need to rebound better. 4 offensive rebounds in that quarter alone. I don't know how many shots Leicester made off of those offensive boards, but they need to do a better job on their boards.
Well, they certainly do, because it's given Leicester 4 points in that quarter, the second chance points, and there's only 5 between them. We'll be back with second quarter action after this break. Welcome back to the EIS here in Sheffield. BBL Cup semi-final first leg between the hometown Sharks and the top of the league, Leicester Riders. And it is the Riders who are in front here in the opening 10 minutes. And really, they've done some good work on the offensive boards, the Riders. Neither team shot the ball spectacularly well, but that second chance opportunity that the Riders have been given has probably been the difference in the game so far.
It really has, and when you look at the Leicester team, you actually think that actually they can take it to another level at any time when they feel like it. So maybe the first quarter, they're just really sort of feeling Sheffield out, and yeah, we'll see a bit more action this quarter.
Well, Leicester pressuring on the inbound, so it goes into Tuck. Holmes around the screen, gets it to Tuck. Tuck drives in, and he's had a couple of opportunities like that. Leicester just dropped off him too much. Yeah, and that's what he has to do. You know, he's been at Sheffield for a while now, and he needs to lead by example, and he's done a great job so far in this game. Taylor now for the Riders. High post is Rowe, kicks it cross court. That's a long 2 from Pavel Leshonsky. I've been really impressed with him this season. That's a fantastic pickup for Rob this year. He did a good job in finding him. In the corner, Bridge, that will be a 3. And Rob Paternoster stamps the floor in frustration there at his team. Well, in the scouting report, they would have been told, you know, make sure that Bridge puts the ball on the floor. Do not give him an open shot. Don't let him set his feet, because that's what he can do. Cousinard inside, cross court. Ball gets all the way out to Taylor from behind the arc. That one doesn't go. And perhaps Leicester a bit too unselfish. Oh, cutting through the middle, Jelson, that'll be a walk. You can wave that one off. Yeah. He was right at the top of the key, and there was only ever one decision the referee was going to make on this play. A nice little pass here, but yeah, Jameson one step too many. If he'd just gone up off the 1 foot, he'd have been okay, but because he tried to pull into going off 2 feet, that was where he was called for the shuffle. Leicester certainly looking to use this high post area almost every play. It's back out to Leshonsky from behind the arc. That doesn't go. That's a real quick shot there on offense for Leicester, which is a bit uncharacteristic for them. Jemison with the mid-range jumper, all streak, ties the game at 20. Well, this is going to give Sheffield a lot of confidence here. You know, they've just hung around, and all of a sudden it's a tied game, and they're going to start to believe they can do this. Taylor in the corner, bounces it into Rowe, under pressure, tough shot from Anthony Rowe.
Tough shot, but you know, great composure there, knew where the basket was, and a great finish.
Oh, what a pass there from Holmes to find Jelson wide open.
Okay, he's starting to heat up now.
We're level once again at 22. Kuzanov. Round the screen. Inside now to Rowe. Rowe under pressure from Bridge. Little short, but had enough to bobble in over the front of the ring.
Yeah, nice little touch there. Just got enough on it to let it roll in.
Jelson to Williams. The Riders have got the ball anyway. Sullivan to Leszonski on the trail. Good pass, good finish.
Again, great defensive effort at one end, leads to an easy bucket at the other end.
3 minutes into the second period. Sharks 22, Riders 26 here at the EIS. Top. Williams now has Holmes cutting through. Holmes with a little pull-up from the mid-range, and he's certainly found his feet in this game.
He's starting to get going now. That was a nice little sequence there, you know, well-executed offense there from the Sharks.
4 points, 4 assists on debut so far. Leszonski replies with 2, and Leicester are going to get a delay of game warning. Got to leave the ball alone if you're the offensive team once it goes through the net. Yeah,
you have. Coach Lyons has got to be a little bit disappointed with the Sharks' defense there. I mean, Leicester can catch the ball in the high post anytime they feel like it, uncontested, turn around and get an open shot. So they've really got to do a better job on defending that position.
Mike Tuck getting a breather with Olu Babalola checking back into the game. Tuck is the game's top scorer with 9 points. Here's Holmes and Taylor. Round the screen from Babalola. Babalola stop and go, steps back. Tough shot, but it is the sort of shot he makes. That one didn't go. Leszonski, oh, he missed it, gets his own rebound, and now there are 4 guys around him. He missed that, and it's tipped in by Jay Kuznod. And the first thing Pavel Leszonski did was turn to the coach, went, sorry about that, coach.
Yeah, he needed to. You know, you got to make those chippies, you know, but they got to.
Oh, great hands from Kuznod to knock it away, and he will jam it down. And we've talked about Leicester's length defensively. There's a great example.
Absolutely fantastic hands there, and one-on-one sequence. Here we go, just picked his pocket. Thank you very much, and easy bucket at the other end. Great job by Leicester.
It's really hard to reach round and knock that ball away from behind the guy without fouling. That is textbook how to steal it away. Well, as the teams take a timeout, so will we. We'll be back after the break. Well, the two teams break out of the huddle. Is just under 6 minutes to go here at the EIS in Sheffield. The Sharks 24, the Riders 32. And it'll be a Sheffield possession from the end line. And Leicester look like they're coming with a bit of full court pressure, whether it's just on the inbounding of the ball or whether it's a full court man. No, it's the 2-2-1 again, and they drop away. There is no trap.
Yeah, they just look to slow Sheffield down a little bit.
Oh, good steal again. This time it's Leszonski, gets it out to Kuznod. Kuznod, good rearrange, and 6 in a row from Jay Kuznod, all coming off good defense.
Everything's coming off defense. Great defense leads to easy offense.
Backcourt violation, B.J. Holmes jumping over from the backcourt. It's where you take off from, not where you land. And he hadn't established himself in the front court.
Absolutely, you know, 2 rookies to the league, they should know better. You know, I'm sure they won't do that again. But I know how Sheffield are feeling right now. With just feel like you're being swamped, and whatever you do, you just end up throwing the ball away.
Sullivan inbounds to Taylor. Riders' lead is in double figures now. Out to Taylor from Rowe, back to Rowe, and that is his spot in the corner, and he knocks it down just like you would expect.
Yeah, he's about 80% from there. That's what he does.
Leszonski just gambling across on that, and he will be called for the foul, and that will be I think the first on Pavel. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he just steps across a little bit slow on that. Leicester back into a 2-1-2 zone.
Trying to take away the middle. Sheffield have penetrated well, especially this man Tuck, and he's still going to work on it. Still finds a gap in the lane. He's into double digits.
Hey, you know what? Just give me the ball. Let me do it for you.
Taylor driving through, gets it to Leszonski. Leszonski is blocked, sized him up, Jameson, and threw it out. Bridge open in the corner for three, not quite, and Rowe gets up highest to clutch that with two hands.
Good look for Bridge. Normally he knocks those down.
Sullivan inside, and one or two fans behind calling for the charge, but Bridge was inside the circle, so there's no way a charge was going to be called.
No, not at all.
Zaire Taylor calls for the foul. And Leicester looking to make substitutions. In fact, both teams looking to make substitutions. Colin Singh coming in for the Sharks, and the Riders bring Jorge Calvo back into the game, and Yorick Williams, with Leszonski and Taylor sitting down.
Nothing changed though, Dan. You got the same length out there. You got the same guys who can score, can play defense. You know, they play at a very consistently high level.
Singh inside to Tuck. Tuck gets it out to Holmes from behind the arc, a little short, but Bridges inside position grabs the offensive rebound.
Coach Patanov's not happy with that. You know, the smallest man on the court coming with the ball on the offensive boards and an easy two put back.
Yeah, Rob Paternoster's arms went up in the air in frustration at that one. Yorick bails out of the three, gets it to Sullivan. Sullivan under pressure from Babalola. Good friends, former teammates. Kuznard from behind the arc for three, it's short. Singh and Rowe fighting for it, and eventually Tuck gets there first.
Nice little battle going on down there underneath the basket.
Babalola with the no-look. Oh, what a block from Kuznard. Keeps it in bounds to Calvo as well.
There's that defense, Daniel. There's that defense.
Here he is at the other end, getting it to Rowe. Rowe drives in strong, under great pressure, needed to use the backboard there, overcooked it. Holmes with a little crossover, driving through, spins it in off the glass. And the Leicester lead is down to 8. Rob Paternostro calls for a timeout, 3 minutes and 15 seconds from halftime. Well, I'm sure he'd just be a little bit disappointed here that his team have just let this slip away for a second or two and just can't quite pull away here against the Sharks. Every time they get a bit of a lead, the Sharks are able to come back into it. It's 30-38 here, PJ, and Rob just trying to re-establish his team here.
Yeah, he's just trying to settle them down. I think they had a 12-point lead just a couple of minutes ago, and you know, they've had a couple of ill-judged offenses, and they've allowed Sheffield to come back and get a couple of easy buckets. So Rob's just going to want them to regroup and you know, build again.
Yeah, just a few moments ago, Leicester were 38-26 in front, and it's only a 4-0 run, but it's the momentum that signals.
You know, that's sort of 8 points, 12 points, a psychological barrier there. So, you know, Leicester going to feel a little bit sorry for themselves. Not too much. You know, Sheffield are going to feel good about themselves because, you know, it could have been 14-16. They're back with an 8-point game.
Well, back out come the two teams from that timeout. And it will be a Riders' ball from under their own basket after B.J. Holmes scored on the final play. Calvo, Williams gets it into Sullivan. Rowe back to Sullivan. Sullivan looking to back down his man, gives it to Rowe, moves on. Good ball movement, finds Kuznard. Shot clock getting low. Yorick has to fire up, one on the shot clock. It hits the ring. Rowe trying to keep it alive. Does keep it alive. Gets it to Sullivan. Great hustle from Anthony Rowe, and he's okay. He's back up on his feet.
You know, Sheffield did a much better job defensively, moving their feet, you know, denying the Riders an easy shot, almost got a shot clock violation, but Leicester still came up with the rebound.
Williams driving in, draws some contact and throws it up, it goes in, and Leicester get two very unlikely points there.
Yeah, you don't expect Leon to do that, but he'll take it, and I'm sure Coach Packman is happy about that too.
Tuck trying to go to work off the glass. Mike Tuck playing really well for his team. 13 points and 6 rebounds so far.
He's playing great right now. I mean, he's shooting a very high percentage, and right now he's keeping Sheffield in this game.
Well, that was a high one. Calvo going up goalkeeper style to catch that. Sullivan from behind the arc, off the back of the ring. Calvo, another offensive rebound for the Leicester Riders. They've absolutely bossed it on the boards. That's 8 of them at that end of the floor.
That's going to kill you. That's going to come back to haunt you.
And they get another points off it. Yorick with the 3, so you think they've had 5 points from Yorick off 2 offensive rebounds.
Absolutely. It seems like, you know, Riders are coming down and they're getting 2 plays on every possession. And sooner or later, Sheffield are going to do a much better job and trying to limit the Riders to 1 shot per possession.
Well, double figures now from second chance points, the Riders. Here's the chance for the Sharks to get some. Holmes off the back of the ring, but they can't. Sullivan looking to push it down court, has Singh right behind him. Sullivan keeps going. It's back out. Yorick again from behind the arc, not this time. And there they are on the glass again this time. Sullivan's tip ends up in the hands of Holmes. Drops it down to Tuck. He's got the height on Yorick Williams. And, well, Yorick wasn't convinced about that as Tuck fell to the floor.
Let's see what happens here. Looks like Tuck might have lost his footing right there, but the referee had a better view than us, Daniel.
Yeah, the referee right on the spot there to make that call. And Yorick Williams is going to get a breather with Zaire Taylor checking in, but actually firstly, with a minute to go here in the first half, Rob Paternostro calling a timeout, and we often talk about the importance of going into the end of periods, particularly the end of the second period where you're going into halftime, trying to get that momentum, and they've got an 11-point lead. If they could get it to 15, they would be feeling really good.
Absolutely, and certainly what they don't want to do is go in under 10. So right now, Coach Lee setting up what he wants them to do defensively, what they're going to do offensively, and make sure they execute. We're going up 10, 15, whatever it's going to be, but we're going to halftime double figures.
Well, key stat, really. 8 offensive rebounds for the Leicester Riders for 11 second chance points. But the one I always look at is the cross. So there's been 21 rebounds at this end of the floor. So Leicester basically have got 1 in every 3 missed shot. They've managed to get their own rebound.
I mean, as soon as the shot goes, you watch the Leicester team, they're all crashing the boards and saying when they've got that length, if you don't put a body on them, they're just going to jump over you. So that's something that Coach Lyon's going to have to readdress at half-time.
The other thing they do is they're prepared to just tip it, try and get it to a teammate, make sure the ball's still alive. Don't allow the other team an easy rebound.
Absolutely, very smart. If you can't grab with 2 hands, tip it back out.
Well, that last action, a foul, which sees Sheffield have the ball from the end line, which Bridge inbounds to Holmes. Babalola blocked the pass, and again saved by Lashonsky, but they don't manage to keep it. Babalola airballs the 3. Sullivan with the rebound, throws it out long. Oh, what a catch!
Wow!
Oh,
Wow!
It was like an American football Hail Mary, and Kuznor comes down with a touchdown.
That was a great touchdown, great vision. That just shows you the confidence that the Leicester team are playing with. Sullivan looks up, feeds him a dime.
Kuznor now into double digits with 10. That's a kickball, so the shot clock will be reset back up to 14. And look at this, Sullivan throws it length of the court. He's double coverage.
Wow.
But he manages to break through.
Great concentration, great hands, great feed. So hopefully Sheffield will be looking to get the last shot of this this second quarter here.
Well, there's enough gap between the shot and the game clock that Leicester will get it back. That's that 14-second rule. Williams fires up the 3, overcooked, and Leicester now have 10 seconds to come up with the last score here. They already have a 13-point lead. Sullivan drives in, kicks cross-court to Taylor. Taylor with the head fake, draws the foul. Oh, it almost went for him, but Zaire Taylor will go to the line for 3 free throws. Great clock recognition. Got Bridge up in the air, drew the foul, almost made it.
Very smart play there. You know, as you say, got Bridge off his feet there, just lent into him just slightly here. Here we're going to see it right now. Good ball fake, just jumped into him slightly, drew the foul. Almost a 4-point play.
Shows great strength as well to be able to get that near the ring when you go through as much contact as that.
Absolutely, he's a strong guy, you know.
And our viewers at home will have no doubt seen Zaire Taylor as a very good free throw shooter. End of that Manchester game a couple of weeks ago that we had on Sky Sports, he made 8 for 8 down the stretch and just showed what a good foul shooter he can be.
I think he's really grown into the league. When he first got here, he had a couple of games which, you know, he didn't really fire, but I think as the season goes on, he's just proved himself to be a superb player.
Well, he didn't play last season, so there was a bit of rust. It's a stay-at-home dad, but he's very much out there, back into his rhythm. And those Leicester Riders fans we just saw there, on their feet, and well, they might be with their team 16 up at halftime.
Yeah, fantastic job by Coach Paternoster and his team. And Coach Lyon's going to go into the change room now. He's going to try and get his team regrouped. Let's remember, this is 2 legs. This is 2 legs, so they've got to try and keep this close and not give up. They've got to play for 40 tonight.
Well, Leicester very much the upper hand here in the first half at the EAS. It's the Sharks 32, the Riders 48. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Sheffield, where the Sharks find themselves in a 16-point hole at half-time. And what do you think Tiber Lyons would have been saying to his team at half-time, Paul James?
Well, I think he's going to be concentrating on the defense. Too many second-effort shots for the Riders. You know, they're 25% from the three-point line. You know, 3 of 12, but they then go and get their offensive rebounds. So, you know, 8 offensive boards for the Leicester Riders. Sheffield have got to do a better job on their own boards.
Well, it's interesting. We were looking at the stats at half-time, and we say, well, Sheffield haven't been to the free throw line in the first half. Leicester 5 of 5. They had 2 free throws to start the half and 3 free throws to finish the half. There's been very few fouls and almost no trips to the line.
Very, very few. And when you look at the Sharks, you know, it's only Mike Tuck really who's been aggressive, trying to get to the basket. So, you know, so they're predominantly living on the perimeter or short-range jump shots. So, got to be a bit more aggressive, trying to attack Leicester Riders a little bit more and try and draw some more fouls.
Just 8 fouls in the first half, 4-4 the foul count. A lot of zone though, and that tends to lead to lower foul counts. Possession arrow pointing the way of the Riders, so they will start us here in the third quarter, and this, you feel, is an important spell in the whole tie for the Sharks. They cannot allow this to get away from them here.
Absolutely not. This first 5 minutes now in this third quarter is very, very crucial for the Sharks.
Kuzma from behind the arc starts that spell with a 3 for the Riders.
You know, that's the last thing you want as a coach, you know, to let us, you're already down and you're behind, and to allow a open three-point shot, you just don't want that.
Well, we said that Sheffield didn't shoot any free throws in the first half. It's taken them 21 seconds in the second half to go to the line for the first time, as Kuznard just caught Jemison on the wrist, and he will shoot 2. First one is good.
Sharks are a pretty good free throw shooting team. They're shooting about 77% on the season, so they're pretty good at home on the line.
The second one needs a bit of a rattle, but it does drop in.
Friendly rims, Daniel, friendly rims.
Well, they shoot enough on them, they ought to be. Leicester in this horn setup gets it to Rowe. Losonsky wants it in the low block. It eventually comes to him. Oh, that's nice.
Nice patience there on the offense. A bit of a battle going on there down low, but you know, great patience and recognize a good shot in the end.
Holmes. Bridge. He's Kicked across. Oh, I thought for a second Calvo was going to pick that one off, but it did make it all the way to Holmes. Holmes tosses it up. Kuznard pulls in the rebound. Taylor looking to push. Taylor penetrates. Taylor to the hole, off the glass for 2, and the Riders lead us past the 20-point mark.
Off and running. Tough shot at one end by BJ, but then the Riders are out and they're breaking very quickly. Sheffield got to do a better job in defensive transition.
Well, Leicester were pressing for a moment, but Coach Palinostro called them back. Jelson finds some gap in the lane, and he fills it for 2.
Yeah, Leicester fell asleep a little bit on the baseline there. The defense allowed Jameson an easy 2 points.
Calvo trying to turn the corner, has it not loose, gets it back out to Taylor halfway through the offense. Little shake from Taylor, goes back the other way. Looking for some room, there isn't any. Is it a travel? Yes, it is, says the referee.
Yeah, he just overcooked it a little bit. Great move to get into that position, and then just, here we go, just good defense by Sheffield, and Tuck fouled, just a little bump. Got his feet mixed up, and a bit of a travel.
Babalola. Ooh, that was high for Bridge to pull in, but he managed it. Back to Babalola. Looks to penetrate, kicks out to Bridge, or at least that was the intended receiver. It didn't quite reach him.
Babalola's not being as aggressive as we're used to seeing him offensively, looking to pass the ball a bit more. I don't know whether he's carrying an injury or not, but it doesn't seem to be himself today.
Only 1 of 5 shooting so far, but yeah, he doesn't seem to quite have the usual spot you see from Olu Babalola. Kicked out in the corner is Taylor from behind the arc, doesn't go. Tuck boxes out well and then pulls in the rebound.
And they need more of that, you know, 1 shot per possession. Good box up by Tuck that time, good rebound.
Babalola's shot doesn't go. Rebound. Leicester have numbers here, and that will be a foul on BJ Holmes as Lusonsky went to the hole. Just grabbed him across the arms, made sure that it wasn't going to be an and 1. And Lusonsky will go to the line for 2 free throws. 1 or 2 of the Leicester fans behind us shouting for an unsportsmanlike foul, but I like the referee to make that just a regular foul call.
Yeah, indeed, but you know, you've seen that call before now, so you can see why they probably ask if that's to be called.
It's
so,
that last man back rule, but I always think if he's making sure he doesn't score, going for the ball, legitimate play, just give him 2 free throws.
Yeah, totally agree.
Lead back up to 20 now for Leicester's. Pavel Lusonsky moves into double figures. He's up to 11 now. 11.6 rebounds for the big Slovak. Williams throws it to Holmes, Jameson, Bridge, good ball movement. Holmes fakes at it, no way past Calvo though. Good defense from the Riders. Tuck comes up with it. Jameson jams it down, and they played good defense, but once they over-gambled, couldn't quite recover. That's
right, you know, it's fantastic defense for about 20 seconds there, and then 1 gamble too many, and an easy 2 points for Jameson.
Squares up to Tuck. Now he tries to back it down. Spins base. And what a beautiful low post move from Anthony Rowe.
Great move. Nice, strong move. Good balance and a great finish.
Holmes fires up off the back of the ring. Long rebound comes out to Taylor. Kuznard, deep 3. Almost goes in. Lusonsky chasing hard, and he gets there first. More offensive rebounds for the Riders. Kuznard tries again for 3. This one rattles in. More second chance points for the Riders.
That's going to kill you. And again, just the hustle and the length of Leicester, you know, you got people who are willing to work hard for each other, good things going to happen. And Coach Lyons is going to be really furious right now with his team for allowing that to happen.
9 offensive rebounds by the Riders. They've turned that into 14 points. A, that's a lot of offensive rebounds. And B, if you get above 1 point per offensive rebound, you're doing a really good job on the second chance points.
Well, if you're going to do that, you're going to win an awful lot of games. So, you know, I think right now, Sheffield are rushing it. They're trying to get back in this game all at once, and I don't think they can do that. They probably have to take some time off the clock and be very, very patient this next however minutes we have left. So and just try and slow Leicester down a little bit more.
Well, we said right at the start of the half that this was an important few minutes in the state of this tie. 4 minutes into this half, Leicester have outscored the Sharks by 14 points to 6 and stretched their lead, which was impressive at halftime.
Absolutely. I mean, Sheffield will take some inconceived quick shots, missing them, and Leicester just getting the rebounds, and they're off to the races, getting themselves some easy buckets. And when they're not doing that, they're getting offensive rebounds and getting second efforts.
Well, back out come the Riders from that timeout. Referee, a few words for Pavel Leszczynski as he checks in. Now here come the Sharks, and they will have possession from the end line. Pavel Leszczynski with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Just another day at the office for him.
Yeah, he's having a tremendous season. Been really impressed with him.
Holmes to Jelson. Again, Leicester in this 2-1-2 zone. Means a lot of chasing for the guards on the three-point line. And that is a kick ball. The shot clock was down to 6. It'll be reset to 14.
The reason why the Riders are in this zone so much, Sheffield really don't have anybody who's a consistent three-point threat. So they can just sit in there. They're trying to force him to take the outside shot. And as you can see, Sheffield, they're not rising to the challenge.
Tuck can't convert from close in. Taylor comes down with it for the Riders. Jay Kuznot directing traffic up top for Leicester, the game's leading scorer with 16 points. Hands over to Calvo. Kuznot again. Shot clock getting low. Taylor fakes it. He's got to fire it up. Gets it off just in time. Hits the ring. Another offensive rebound. And you can kind of understand when Anthony Rowe or Pavel Leszczynski's getting offensive rebounds. But as a coach, it could drive you nuts. Jorge Calvo in there grabbing an offensive board.
I'm going crazy here. I'm going crazy here just watching this. And I'm feeling for Coach Lyons right now, because I know he's going to be disappointed with the defensive effort now from the Sheffield Sharks.
Rowe, 17 feet, and that is just money for Anthony Rowe.
That's money in the bank. Yeah, great shot. That's his trademark shot right there.
Jelson, all the noise in the EIS coming from the Leicester fans, those who made the trip up the M1. Oh, Taylor got a little piece of that, and Mike Tuck is called for a foul as Leicester tried to get out on the break.
Again, Daniel, Sheffield trying to force the ball inside. Nobody's really looking to shoot it from the perimeter, and that's really hurting them right now. I think defensively, I'd like to see Sheffield come out and play a little bit of man-to-man just to change it up and see what happens, because obviously the zone's not working.
Well, there's a little pressure up court from Gachette, but nothing much. And they're in 2-3 zone. Taylor calling for Rowe to come to the high post. Now he has to come out to the three-point line to get it. Shot clock getting low. Jorge Calvo fires up for 3 off the ring. Another offensive rebound. It's like a broken record.
I don't know what to say, Daniel.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
We've pretty much covered everything you can say about the offensive rebounding. Kuznov fakes at the 3, resets himself, and I thought for a second that Leszczynski was going to get another one.
Let's go again.
Holmes. Jelson driving to the hole, way overcooked. Taylor and Calvo both chasing the ball hard to try and keep it in bounds, but couldn't. So actually Sheffield with a chance to put some second chance points on the board.
Again, subs coming in, Sullivan coming back, so Albiola's coming back, so I'd like to see a little bit more energy from him. And I'd like Sin to come in and, Sin's had a couple of really good games this season, and I'd like to see him get a bit more involved as well.
Sheffield ball from the end, which Singh will inbound. Babalola. Tuck. Tuck looked like he got caught on the arm by Kuznot, and I think that's what the referee caught. It was a slightly late whistle, but it was a right whistle.
Yeah, you'd rather that. Here we go. He comes through here.
Pretty easy spot on that.
Pretty easy spot right there. Good call. Rather a late call than a no call.
It's only his second personal foul, but Rob Paternostro will give him a break with Yorick Williams checking back into the game. And Jay Cousinard having a good shooting night. 16 points, he's 7 of 11. Made a couple from behind the arc as well, and 7 rebounds and a couple of steals speaks to his length and his strength defensively.
Well, Leicester have so many players who can play multiple positions, and that's what you can get. You get a player who's good in all those areas. All of a sudden, you can change your game so much.
Barry Lamble into the game for the first time with Rose sitting down, and Lamble and Anderson really did a good job whilst they were without Fraley to fill those minutes, but obviously Anthony Rowe has come in and established himself straight away.
Absolutely, Lamble, a vet of the league, and as you say, when Frey was out, he came in and did a great job for the Leicester Riders.
Oh, they reset the shot clock. I don't think they should have there. Lamble didn't realise, I think, and just fired it up quickly. Bichette pounding it down, gets it to Tuck. Singh on the far side. Back over to Singh. Shot clock getting low now on the shots. Does Singh see it? Gets it into Tuck. Tuck loses it. And Sullivan says thank you very much.
Leicester defense.
I thought for a second Yorick Williams was going to fire up a 3 there. He had all the hallmarks of that one's going up. Lamble inside.
You know, it's been quite resilient.
Yorick from miles out. Oh,
as I speak.
Straight from Yorick Williams. He was a good 6 feet behind the line.
And I was just about to say how reserved he was being and controlled. Fantastic shot by Yorick Williams.
But you can expect that whenever he's on the court. They can go up from anywhere. There is nowhere outside Yorick Williams' range. Bichette under pressure from Calvert. Tough shot.
Tough shot. He might have got caught on the arm too there, but a tough shot, good concentration by the young player.
Calvert to Sullivan. Williams. Calvert, nice
Great
bounce
pass.
Oh, he bobbled out there for
That is 2 points there, Daniel. There's a nice little bounce pass there. Good recognition by Calvert.
Certainly deserved an assist, but nothing doing. Babalola dancing to the hole, to the finger roll. Nice play.
Good little play there. Little bullied his way through there for a nice little, say, finger roll, nice little layup there. He's 2 points.
Babalola, who'd only made one of his first 6 shots, getting one to go there. Calvo in the corner from behind the arc, doesn't go. Lamble trying to make a nuisance of himself. Williams dives on the floor for the loose ball and ends up tripping up Singh. He's quick to help Singh back to his feet.
It's great to see the old man, Yorick Williams, diving on the floor for a ball, but I guess, you know, that's the kind of work ethic that Coach Rob Patnos instilled in this team.
Anderson and Taylor checking back in for the Riders as Lashonsky sits down, and so too does Calvert. Bichette, little stop and go, pulls up, doesn't get there. Anderson, his one-time teammate, pulls in the rebound. Taylor, back out to Williams. Sullivan in the corner. Drops it in down low to Anderson. Offensive foul is the call. Must have got him for a hook, did he?
Must have done.
Let's have another look.
Look at this. Oh yeah, you can see that quite easily.
You can see that from the referee's angle, and not allowed hook your arm around the defensive player like that.
Good to see Anderson being aggressive though in the post. Yeah, I like that. I like them being aggressive.
Oh, Anderson there just got a deflection. Did that touch Jemison? No, said the referee. He had the look of a guy who might have just got a fingertip on that for a second.
That's for the referee to call.
And the referee said no, he didn't. It'll be a Sharks possession. BJ Holmes will check back in. Here's another look. There's the initial deflection. Ooh, can't quite see.
Can't quite see it.
Lobbed into Singh. Holmes. Tuck kicks it out. Babalola, 4 on the shot clock. Babalola's got to fire it up, a fall away off the glass. Rebound, Williams. Taylor races. Taylor forced to stop, gets it back out to Williams. Head fake, gets his man in the air, gives it to Sullivan in the corner for 3, and another one rattles in for the Leicester Riders.
That's great unselfish basketball. Great unselfish. Everybody in the gym thought York was going to shoot that ball, but oh no, he found Andrew Sullivan out on the perimeter for a great shot.
Three-pointer doesn't go at the other end. Sullivan comes up with it. Last possession here of the third period. Taylor fires up for 3 and hits! What a finish to a spectacular quarter by the Leicester Riders, and they have opened up a 30-point lead here.
But I said to you earlier on, Danny, that I always felt that Leicester could go to another gear, and certainly they've done that in this that third quarter, and a 30-point lead, and right now the Sharks don't have any answers.
Well, those Riders fans are enjoying themselves. Connor Washington looks like he is too. Quarter to play here in the first leg. Riders well in command. We'll have fourth quarter action after this break. Welcome back to the EIS, where Sheffield have some work to do here in this BBL Cup semi-final. First leg, trailing Leicester by 30 here. And Paul, what they have to remember is there's still 40 minutes to go after this game. They have to play this fourth quarter hard and try and narrow this gap somehow.
Absolutely, come out, full court press, man-to-man, do whatever you got to do to try and reduce this score, because, say, next week you got another 40 more minutes to play.
Now, I seem to remember these two teams met in the quarterfinals of the playoffs last year, and if my memory is correct, Leicester were in a similar situation at the end of 3, and Sheffield actually on that occasion did get it back down to about 15 or 17 points. That's what they've got to think of, if we can get it back down to something where it's within the realms of possibility.
Absolutely, but it's got to happen a bit at a time, and, you know, certainly we talk about offensive boards, they keep giving up. They can't have any of those this quarter, and they've got to do a better job on the offensive end.
And this is where two-legged basketball is a bit different from normal, because in a situation like this, if this was a league game, they've got another game in 2 days' time, the Riders on the road in Glasgow, they might be looking to rest some guys, give some guys some extra minutes, but as it's a two-leg game, it's about keeping it going, keeping the score, running it up as high as you can.
Absolutely. If you get a chance to try and get the job done in one game, that's what you should try and do. So I think Coach Paternoster here is not going to give any sort of let up.
Babalola called for a travel. Referee on the near side. I suppose he had the view right across the lane, and he could see that Babalola walked with it.
He had a little shuffle, but I've seen players get away with that every week.
Taylor to Sullivan. Lob down to Anderson with the spin. Anderson going strong to the hole again. Too much on that one. Holmes kicks it out to Bridge. And he slows things down. Gachette running the baseline, trying to spin past Lamble, overcooked it.
That's always going to be a tough shot. Always going to be a tough shot. How tall is Barry Lamble? 6'11"?
Yeah.
7 foot? 8?
Sullivan. Jammed down by Anderson. He is super athletic.
He's really, really explosive, and that's where he can really, really hurt you. Nice dish by Andrew Sullivan.
Tuck fires up from behind the arc. Doesn't go. Rebound at Lamble. Sullivan lobs it up to Anderson. Caught it well. Some guys might have tried for the alley-oop. Sensible. Pulled the board in. Make sure you lay it in for 2.
You know, really smart play. You know, as you say, Danny, some people have tried to catch it in the air and try and put it in. Came down, realized it wasn't quite there. Came down, gathered himself. Easy 2 points.
And what you notice here is Zaire Taylor just set it up. Screened 2 guys. Said he actually pointed to Anderson. Said lob it up over to him. saw the recognition, great play. I mean, it's not something that shows up in the stat sheet, but great play by Zaire Taylor.
Great, smart play, and it just shows you how together this Leicester team are. You know, they're playing like they've been playing together for years, which is, you know, it's fantastic to watch.
Well, timeout has been called by Coach Lyons here, 90 seconds or so into this fourth quarter, and well, we said they needed to cut the lead. It's grown by another 4 points here in this fourth quarter, and it's hard because guys are not used to being in this two-legged situation and actually having to try and where every single point matters.
It is really hard, and as a coach, you got to work overtime to sort of make them realize that, look, we just got to keep playing. We really got to keep playing. We've got to play as hard as we can to the final whistle, and try not to give up any easy buckets.
Well, the Riders, once again, quickest to break out of the huddle, unsurprisingly so. I suppose the one thing we were saying about in this situation where maybe you might rest a few players and put a few bench players on in this sort of situation in a league game, it kind of doesn't matter with Leicester because they rotate through all the way through the game.
I was just about to say, it doesn't matter because you got some hungry kids on the bench who want to play and want to prove to the coach, you should be playing me more. So when they get on the court, they're not letting up either. 5
guys already in double digits for the Riders, led by Jay Kuznod, 16. Holmes trying to find some space. That's thrown over Babalola. Taylor doesn't let it go. It's a backcourt. Well, it's tipped out of bounds. I thought Babalola got to it first, but it doesn't matter. It's a Leicester possession. But once again, pressure defense from the Leicester Riders, forcing a turnover on this occasion by the Sharks.
The defense is relentless. I don't think the Sharks have scored yet in this quarter, and only 11 points, I think, in the third quarter.
Yeah, just 11 points in 12 second-half minutes here by the Sharks. Yorick bails out of the 3, gets it to Taylor instead. Taylor trying to back down Holmes. Lamble at the elbow. That shot, will it go? No, not quite. We saw 1 or 2 friendly rolls in the first half for the Sharks, but nothing doing for Barry Lamble on that occasion.
That's at the other end, Daniel.
Yeah. Babalola skips cross court. Tuck under pressure, throws it back to Babalola. Babalola into Jelson, dancing along the baseline, good play.
Yeah, good recognition that time. Just hopping around on the baseline and a good finish.
Taylor offered double screens up top. Instead, he goes down low to Sullivan against Babalola. Sullivan spins Babalola, kicks it to Lamble just through his hands. Williams brings it forward. Jemison at the free throw line is short. Lamble can only tip it, but Sullivan is first to it.
Yeah, it's not too often we've seen in this game Leicester be a little bit out of control, but they were on that last play. But they get back, get a defensive stop, and here they go again.
Williams from behind the arc. He's made 3 of his first 5 attempts, but that one didn't go. And he did turn to the referee and say, I got caught on that one. Well, Coach Lyons called another timeout here. He's burnt a couple in quick succession. Obviously still not very happy with what's going on. Rob demands perfection. And you have to say his team have not been too far off that today.
Yeah, he can be proud of how they've played so far this year. That's true, and especially today. And you know, as coaches, all we want is perfection. You know, he could be 100 points up. We'd still find something to moan about.
Well, you look at some of the key stats that come out in hustle plays and effort plays and team plays. 37 rebounds. They've dominated the boards 37 to 23. And 17 assists. Just shows how they like to move the ball, find the open guy.
Absolutely, a very, very unselfish team this year, and you know, top of the league and doing really well in this cup semi-final first leg. Thoroughly deserved.
BJ Holmes there with his first 3-pointer in the Sharks uniform. Sullivan and Babalola again going at it. Taylor from behind the arc, little short. Tried to reply against his old college adversary there. And we got a bit of a Big 12 matchup going on there. Those two guys know each other well, trying to go back and forth. And Leszonski's going to check back into the game for Leicester as Jamal Anderson sits down.
Yeah, Rob's going back with his senior crew now, so I think he's trying to really try and put some points back on the board again now.
He's also in an extended discussion with Jamal Anderson about something on a defensive play. Babalola given some space and knocks it down, and Sullivan says, yeah, I think I should have got out to that one.
Yeah, you know, Leicester fell asleep a little bit, and we had a couple of good shots from Sheffield now. Good three from Babalola. Let's see what else they can see if we get a defensive stop here now.
Taylor in the corner to reply with three of his own string music for Zaire Taylor from behind the arc.
Anything you can do.
Leicester's 9th three-pointer of the game, that. Showing that they can knock them down from distance. It's been something teams have baited them in, and they've seen a lot of zone. And they've not shot the three ball very well this season, but they have certainly today.
Every time I've seen them, Daniel, they have.
Yeah, must be you.
It must be me.
Kuznard, I think, is called for the front. In fact, it's Rowe given to it. Rowe went forward. Kuznard came from behind. Pick whichever one you like out of that. It's only the second foul on Anthony Rowe.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's too concerned about who picks up that foul.
No. Not really been very many fouls in the game for either team. Foul count 7 for the Sharks, 10 for the Riders. 17 is a low number in 35 minutes.
It really is, and you know, for me, I guess Sheffield haven't really got after Leicester enough. You know, 7 fouls, 10 fouls, whatever they have. You know, it just means they've just been sat back in that zone that hasn't worked. Now they're in a bit of a man-to-man here. Hopefully we can get a few more stops.
Taylor turns the corner. Little head fake, gets it out to Leszonski for 3. That's short. Just drew the front of the iron, and Tuck picks it up off the ground. Williams, his 3 doesn't go. Pulled in by Rowe. 2 Sharks in close attention.
Williams is obviously carrying an injury because he hasn't had much court time at all this second half, and he's the one guy who can really light it up from 3.
Kuznard dumps it back to Rowe. Sullivan sets his feet from behind the arc. The net needed some straightening. Drew Sullivan did exactly that.
Once again, you see the great ball movement from Leicester, making the extra pass, finding the open man, and you know they're playing with some great confidence right now.
Lobbed into Jelson. Good pass from B.J. Holmes up top. His 6th assist of the game.
You got to think once B.J. Holmes is here and he's settled, he's played with his teammates a bit, that certainly Sheffield are going to be an improving team.
He certainly will help them distribute. There was a little coming together, shall we say, between Rowe and Jameson. Jameson is called for the foul, but Rowe got a little warning from the referee not to overreact to that. There was just a little push and shove.
But that's okay. I think Sheffield needs to be doing that. They need to be getting up in Leicester's face a little bit and seeing how they react.
Jorge Calvo will check back in. Jemison has a 1-game ban coming his way. Was thrown out of the game against you guys, wasn't it, last week?
Yeah, he was. Him and Arnes Kozlowskis got into it a little bit. Well, I don't know if they did, but you know what Arnes is like.
Yeah. He's got to be one of the most annoying people, I would imagine, to play against. Great guy to watch.
Great guy to watch. He's a good guy to coach as well, most of the time.
I think they all are most of the time, although.
Yeah. But trust me, he frustrates his own teammates too.
But when he's hot, as he was last week down in London, he's hot. Back to today's action. Sharks trailing the Riders by a big number here, 54-30. 83, I was about to say. So it's gone back up over 30 on that shot. 31 points. The first leg lead.
And Sullivan showing his quality there, just going through the change there. 1 minute hitting the 3, next minute's hitting a little nice turnaround jumper. Doing a great job for his team.
He's become the 6th Leicester player in double figures. And actually, 6 out of 85 in double figures just shows how much how many weapons they have. If you get to like 110 or something, you would expect to have 6 guys in double figures. But the top scorer for Leicester in this game, 16 points.
This is what makes Leicester so tough. You say you got 6 guys in double figures. Who do you guard? Who do you guard? And this right here, this is the championship winning team.
Jemison inside, got caught by Rowe. Rowe turns to the referee and says, offensive, isn't it? But when you leave the ground, more often than not, it's called defensive. Let's see what Anthony Rowe's trying to tell us here as he goes up. Well, he went for the block, and the offhand sort of caught him.
So Jameson stuck his left hand out slightly just to draw some contact as well. So,
but once you leave the ground, it's almost always defensive.
Yep.
Both free throws made. Calvo, double screen. Still has it, gets it to Sullivan. Down low is Rowe. Rowe spins baseline, throws it up under pressure, throws it away. Holmes out to Babalola, fires up for 3. Needed that.
See, now all of a sudden we're going to that man-to-man, they're harassing, they're up in Leicester's face, taking Leicester out of their comfort zone. Good defense leads to good offense, and a great 3-point shot there from Olu.
Kuznov drives baseline, pulls up, little fall away, that's short. And, well, you just wonder if Sheffield could get this back under 20. At least give them something to play with. Williams hits a 3, and they've certainly got a little bit of momentum, enough momentum that with 2:29 to go, Rob Paternostro calls a timeout.
So my thing is, what's changed? Well, things have changed. They come out of the zone, they're in man-to-man, a bit more pressure. You know, Leicester now, they've got people challenging their shots. They're not giving up the offensive rebounds, and now that's leading to easy buckets at the other end.
Well, as the teams take a timeout, so will we. We'll be back after the break. Well, back out come the Sharks. 8 consecutive points for them. It's Leicester ball from the end line. Bit of full court pressure coming here from the Sharks. Tuck pressuring the ball. Leszonski wants some help, gets it to Kuznov. Kuznov looks over to Taylor, and Taylor says, you bring it up. Now he hands it over. Kuznov running the baseline. Goes back the other way. Now he gets his hands on the ball. 5 on the clock. Taylor, little shake and bake, frees himself some room. Shot is short. Williams pulls in the rebound, and they can get it back here. Long shot gets it to 20.
Good defensive sequence here by Sheffield. Can they get 2 here?
They do get 2 here. 10 in a row now for the Sharks.
Okay, 1:51 to go, and again, they'll be looking to get another good defensive stop here if they can go down and just chip away at this deficit right here.
Kuznov drives to the hole. Riders needed that. It's funny to say up 21 you needed a score, but they did.
I think you got to put him to the line. You know, the way the game is, you got to send him to the line.
Williams' 3 is short, rebounded by Leszonski. Leszonski to Kuznov, and he will go to the line this time, and for a bonus as he's grabbed, converted off the glass. He will shoot 1. Rob Paternostro did briefly ask for an unsportsmanlike foul. That's certainly closer to 1 than the earlier foul, but he did get a hand on the ball.
He got a hand, and then there's a little grab at the end there. So again, we've seen them called before now, but
certainly have.
You know, he concentrated, made the buckets, and he's going to line for a 3-point play.
Leicester up to 90. I think it's only the 2nd time this season they've scored this many. Such has been their defense. They've not needed to get that high.
I think the first time was against us, right, Daniel?
It probably was, yeah. Actually, they might have had 90 last week against Durham as well. Maybe they've done it 3 times. BJ Holmes going to the free throw line for a couple of freebies. That one rattles in. No, just the once. Durham, 91. I've checked it now, PJ. They only had 79 against you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, so we played some great defense.
Yeah,
then.
it must
We
have
just
been all
couldn't
in the
score.
second half. Oh, Tuck laid it in. I think they had 50 or something at half-time. All them threes. Taylor brings it forward for the Riders. Down low to Sullivan. Backing down, double team comes, so he gets it to Lasonsky. Lasonsky, did he walk with it? Yes, says the referee.
Yeah, it was a little bit crowded in there. You know, Drew might have been better off sort of kicking the ball out to the perimeter there.
Holmes brings it forward. Babalola bounces down. Jemison short, rebound Rowe. Leicester trying to take time out of the game here. No rush. They haven't really been in a rush for the last couple of minutes. Rowe, Kuznod, Sullivan. Get it into Lasonsky, spinning. Hard off the glass, doesn't go. Rebound Jemison. Just over an offense left here. Williams is going to pull up and hits for three.
Try to see what they would have done if he was fully fit tonight, because he's certainly come out here in the fourth quarter and he's done a pretty good job. And, you know, 20-point game, get it stopped here, and who knows, you've got a chance.
Well, Leicester are going to run it down for the final shot here. Taylor has it in his hands, looking to go to work, see if they can get one last score, and they will draw a foul from Holmes, but Sheffield not over the limit, so it won't be free throws. It'll be a sideline possession with 3.2 to go.
Well, that'd be a pretty good foul if they don't get the 2 points.
And Rob Paternostro calls a timeout with 3.2 seconds to go in a 20-point game. This is what two-leg basketball does.
Does he not know I've got a long drive home tonight?
But it's one more score that he's after for next week's game. That's, I mean, you totally understand why he's doing it, and you would expect him to do it in this situation.
Absolutely, absolutely right. He's going to draw one last play. Hopefully, you know, they're going to execute it properly and they get one last score, you know, and take this to a 22 or 23-point lead.
Back out come the two sides, and it will be a Leicester ball from the side. 3.2 left in the game. Kuznod has it. Taylor gets it. Taylor fires up for three. Doesn't go. Kuznod, does he get it off in time? No, he doesn't. Didn't go anyway. And the Leicester Riders beat the Sheffield Sharks by 20. But having led by 30 plus, does that take a little edge off it?
I think so. I think Sheffield did a great job. I mean, it could have been 30, 40-point game the way Leicester were playing those first 3 quarters. So I think Sheffield did a great job in just coming back in the fourth. Leicester did a great job in the first 3 quarters and just taking control of this game.
Well, they certainly did. It's halftime in the BBL Cup semi-final. Advantage Leicester. They will go back home with a 20-point lead. It's finished here at EIS. The Sharks 70, the Riders 90. Well, Rob, a 20-point win is fantastic, but do you feel like a golfer might have left a few shots out there?
It's so weird to play this way. You know, you're up 30 and you're worried about them cutting into the lead. It's strange, but no, we were very happy with how we did up here. I thought right from the start we played very well. I was very impressed with our ball movement. It was great to watch. You know, all year the guys have been unselfish, so great win for us.
Yeah, I mean, we were impressed with the high number of assists and also a great job on the offensive glass by your guys.
Yeah, we felt like we could get to the glass tonight, and, you know, our depth has a lot to do with that because we could rotate guys in and out. And, you know, we have a group now that's very comfortable with each other, and, you know, it's fun to go to practice every day because they're all working together as a team, and, you know, tonight was a good one.
And a lot of three-pointers going in. That must be pleasing for you. It's been a difficult one.
Yeah, we knew it would come, and I thought Kuznod did a heck of a job tonight. He's played very well this year in other areas of his shooting. His shooting has been a little bit up and down, but we love having him out on the court, and we know he's going to score. But I thought all the guys did well. Sullivan really helped us tonight, too, because, you know, not playing last week, being able to come out there tonight and give us that leadership, it was great to have.
Well done. Cheers. Thank you. Well, Atiba, 20-point deficit after the first leg. Not ideal, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, I thought we had a little run in that last 2.5 minutes. We didn't play particularly well defensively in the first half. Third quarter, we let it get away from us. But, you know, we got a lot of new components and guys. Micah's came a little bit of an injury, so he wasn't really himself. And I knew it would be tough when he's down and we got a new guy in. Chemistry before that would have been tough. With him hurt, it was even harder. We were missing a big scoring punch. So, but we tried to play through it, and guys came up short. And, you know, that's how basketball goes.
Offensive rebounds, a bit of an Achilles heel there. Leicester did a great job of getting second chance points.
Yeah, I think in that zone, we didn't really corral some of those long rebounds and come back and rebound. I told the guys, a team like this, you got to rebound and keep them out of transition to have a chance. And we did neither of those really in that second and third quarter, and that kind of cost us the game.
And second leg, you have to go down to Leicester. You'll have a bit more time to integrate Holmes. Is it doable?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been down by quite a bit, and we've turned it around before. And you know, it's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tough task just to win, let alone ask to win by 20. But you know, we just got to go out there and play our game, and possession at a time. Hopefully, we can get something done.
Well, a tremendous victory for the Riders in the first leg, and really it came down to three things this game, Paul. We saw offensive rebounding by the Riders, we saw great ball movement by the Riders, and we saw some tremendous defense from the Riders.
Yes, Dan, we spoke about this at the very start of the game, and they didn't disappoint us tonight. They say tremendous offensive rebounding, fantastic ball movement, and the defense was phenomenal.
And the other thing that the Riders did, which is something they don't often do, except when you're in town, made 3-pointers.
Yeah, surprised the hell out of me tonight. And I think, you know, Sheffield came into this game and they're saying, let's sit in the zone and let's force them to shoot the three. And it backfired because they shot the ball very well tonight.
And at one stage, it looked like it could be a massive number. The Riders were building a huge lead.
They were. I think it was 30-something points at one stage. It could have been 40. And to Sheffield's credit, they fought back in the last 3 or 4 minutes and got it back to a 20-point deficit.
How important do you think that last little run will be for the Sharks?
I think that's really important. I think you know, the Sharks can believe now we can come and we can score on these guys. Leicester will be a little bit disappointed that they've actually let that lead go. So you know, it's going to be interesting for the second leg.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance where you're trying to build up a lead like that. We know in the first leg between Newcastle and Plymouth that Newcastle had a 17-point lead to defend at home. Great action from Sports Central. Let's check it out now. Not much in the first quarter, but the end of it and start of the second, Matt Schneck scored 9 as the Raiders went on a 14-2 run, which gave them a double-figure lead on the night and put them within touching distance of Newcastle's aggregate lead. Colin O'Reilly also scoring well, and at one stage just before half-time, Plymouth led by 14, meaning there was just one score between the sides in the tie. Newcastle cut the gap early in the third quarter, re-establishing a 10-point aggregate lead. 7 minutes to go, Newcastle led by 12 on aggregate, but O'Reilly and Javaris Barnett both hit from behind the arc as Plymouth made a late charge. Jeremy Bell then tied the aggregate scores for the first time with 2 minutes to play, and in the dying seconds, Bell forced overtime with a triple. Newcastle made the most of the extra 5 minutes and held the Raiders to just a single score in overtime, running up 11 points at the other end. Eagles then through to the finals. They looked to retain the cup, but Plymouth giving them an almighty scare with a phenomenal performance. It finished on the night 91-83 to Plymouth after overtime, but Newcastle win out 190-181 on aggregate. Well, what an amazing game that was in Newcastle. Plymouth coming all the way back, couldn't quite pull it off. So it's the Newcastle Eagles who will be in the BBL Cup final to defend their crown. It's a little while off yet, but get the date in your diary. It's the first final of the season. It'll be a great event as ever, and we will be live on Sky Sports 4 at 3:30 p.m. Sunday, 13th of January from the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham. A roundup of all the results of the weekend then. Eagles made the cup final and Leicester are halfway to meeting them. Whilst in the championship on Friday, first game for the newly named Phoenix saw them claim a victory, beating Mersey and Liverpool. Also in the northwest, Manchester were edged 83-77 by the Rocks. One game on Saturday night saw the Heat maintain their title charge by beating the Giants, while Sunday's action saw the Sharks claim a much-needed victory in Durham. Plymouth won the fourth quarter 31-10 as they ran away from the Wolves. Leicester kept Glasgow to just 3 scores in the last 11 minutes as they won by 12 at the Emirates, whilst Newcastle were pretty dominant in Cheshire. This is how things stand in the championship table after the weekend's games then. Leicester have played 2 more than the rest of the top 4. They have a 4-point cushion over the Eagles. Surrey 2 points further back in 3rd, with Plymouth in 4th on 16 points. Glasgow are the only other team above 500 in the league, but they're behind the Wolves, having played 4 games fewer. Sheffield jumped 2 places in the table thanks to their win over Durham. They're now just behind the Phoenix in the battle for playoff places. Tremendous victory for the Riders, and we've just seen highlights of an amazing game between the Raiders and the Eagles. We'll get to see it in full next week as the Raiders host the Newcastle Eagles in championship action. That's Tuesday, 11th of December, Sky Sports 4 at 8 p.m. Hope you enjoyed the action. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye.